Thank you for being here tonight. I assume we have to do a call to order. So I guess we're going to call to order.
I'm going to mute and call Josh.
Okay, I don't have a script in front of me here.
Wing it.
Okay, I'd like to call to order this meeting of the WSGA board meeting on May 17th, 2023.
Perfect.
Really? That was it? Okay, great. Would anybody like to make, do I need a motion for that?
No.
No, you don't have to do that.
Move on to roll call.
We're holding a bated breath
That's
for
right.
the next step.
Roll call. Am I have a window here? Oh, there you are. Vice President.
Here.
Secretary.
She's waving. She's on the phone.
She's waving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Treasurer.
Here.
Cascadians chapter. Gene. Oh, okay. He's muted. But that's okay. Hi, Gene. 48 North, Karen.
Here.
Oh, Gabe.
Here.
Benjamin.
I'm here.
Very good. Joshua Craig.
Not here.
Okay. No worries. Do anybody have his proxy?
No, I
Okay.
I just tried calling him and messaged him.
Okay. Combat Cashier, Jerry.
I haven't heard anything from Jerry.
Okay. That's okay. He sent, we did get a response for his report anyway. And then we have a couple other individuals. I myself, Wine of Seattle president here. Jackie, do I need to get roll call on the two extra individuals?
Yes, because Lori needs to have that in the minutes. So we need to know who is also in the audience.
Okay, very good. Pie Casher, Michael Nelson for Volunteer Tech Committee.
Hello.
Good. The Cashicants, we have Carter Cantrell for Events Committee Volunteer. So these two are not approved yet, Lori, so when they be placed into the minutes, they should be approved at the end of the day, or at the end of the meeting.
Puget Sound chapter is here.
Oh my gosh, I forgot you, Chris.
Yay, Chris.
The most soothing voice. Thank you, Chris. Okay, let's approve the previous meeting's minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the last meeting's minutes?
I move to approve the March minutes from the board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Okay. And I guess there's only one and two third, I guess.
No, just need a second.
Great. Okay, so the minutes for March have been approved.
No, now everyone votes. We've
Okay.
moved to have
That's right.
them
We vote
approved.
to approve.
We have
Right.
to vote for approval.
Okay. Secretary,
Approve.
Chris in the Northwest,
Approve.
Karen,
Approve.
Benjamin,
Approved.
Annette,
Approved.
Jean. Jean Reed, do you want to approve the minutes to March, to the last meeting in March? You're muted, sir. Lori, can we unmute him for a sec?
I don't have the ability. I can ask him to unmute.
Yeah,
Send it in the chat, maybe. Where's
tell him he's been muted all around. In the meantime, Jackie,
Approve.
Gabe,
Approved.
and I approve. We don't have a vote for Joshua, who is not here. Yeah, who's not here, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But I believe we have a quorum.
We do have a quorum, so we're good.
Yeah.
One way or another, we're good across the board. Okay.
And we don't have, Jerry.
Jerry.
Jerry, correct.
So I just put him as abstained.
Abstained on both, right? Okay, that's fine. So that's cool. Very good. Fantastic. Treasurer's report. Annette, are you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you show us what you got?
I hope that all of you board members got my reports that I sent out this morning and have had a chance to look them over. Not a lot of activity the last 2 months. This report is for the calendar months of March and April. And it shows we had a fair amount of membership income. That's probably mostly renewals, but maybe some new ones also. I don't know. The membership report will probably talk about that. I didn't see but one merchandise sale that went on. And most of the postage that went out, it looks like Chris Brew's mailing out coins for the GIA tour.
That is correct. We've had quite
Okay,
we've had
thank
quite
you.
a few.
Good. And looking at the expense items, we small amount on all of these. The chapter allocation expense, you can see those two items on the also attached chapter allocation report that I submitted. So if you chapter reps are having events that you have some expenses, you can turn those expenses into me and I will reimburse you because each of you chapters has a fairly decent amount of money that you can spend.
I have some stuff that I need to send to you.
Okay, thank you. I had to order printed checks finally. I think we've been using these checks for maybe 10 years. And we finally got down to where we only had 3 left. So I just ordered some more and they came in and you can see that in March, I renewed our Secretary of State filing fee for our state nonprofit. At that time, we had not had the election, so it had our former officers on file, but I had to pay it in March or else it would expire, and I did not want that to happen. So I paid it, and now today I submitted an amended annual report to the Secretary of State. That cost me $10, and it updated the 2 new members we have on the executive board. If the officers don't change next year, it will only cost the standard $20. It's only when you change some of those in the governing body that I have to do an amended report. So, and the strike fees were not all that much because we didn't have a whole lot going on. You can see at the bottom of that page that I showed the current balance as of Monday when I started, or no, Tuesday when I started working on this report. And it shows that the insurance for the Tri-Cities event, the pending status at the bank, it was $375 this time.
Did your meeting start?
Jen requested $2 million in liability coverage. Last year, it was $1 million. We paid $310 last year for $1 million worth of coverage. It was $375 this year for $2 million. So, and it would have been $325 if we had still been able to use the $1 million. So it was only $50 more for the extra $1 million. Other than that, no outstanding checks, nothing that I know about at this point in time. So we've got total cash on hand right now of $14,794.95. Any questions on that report? Whoops, I'm not hearing people.
Antoine, I muted you a moment ago.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't have a huge amount of, well, I don't have any questions. There's not really anything I don't understand. I think it was pretty straightforward. Jackie, do you have any questions there?
No, it's very straightforward.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm super happy for that.
Thank you,
Um,
Annette.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
very much.
Yeah, this was one of the easiest I've ever done because everything came out to the penny. Some months, because Stripe will process things after the end of a month in the following month. So I have to go back and do a lot of, checking and making sure I've got each month that matches what's on the Stripe account and what's on the bank account. But this month, they all processed everything far enough in advance that I didn't have to jiggle anything.
Is that something that they always do?
Yes,
Is that a problem?
no.
Okay, so people deal with it.
It just takes a little bit of work. But when something is processed on Stripe, then it may be 1 or 2 or 3 days later when they clear the money to our account.
Sure.
Sometimes they do it when they just have one item. Sometimes they'll wait until they accumulate 2 or 3, or maybe you've got a whole bunch of transactions on one day. There's no set way they do it. I've just learned to live with it.
Okay, all right, great. We'll parking lot that one.
Yeah.
Jackie, do I need to approve those?
Nope,
Okay, great.
because it's
Well, then-
part, it will fall into the minutes for this agenda or for this meeting that we will approve next meeting.
Perfect. All right, good deal. Then let's move forward.
Okay,
Members-
did anybody have any questions on the allocations?
Yeah, that's a good question. Is there anybody who hasn't collected allocations in a while in that?
Well, there are only 2 chapters so far this year that have used any money at all. Inland Empire used 2582 in March, and Benjamin, I reimbursed him 2858 in February for some events he had coming up. So very small amounts so far. Karen just said she had something, but
Okay.
there was,
I'm
you could,
saving my money for a big event or a bigger event I'm trying to plan. So
okay.
Right.
But- Look at that at any time and you can see who has spent money and how
Yeah,
much they have left.
I just want to make sure that the monies are actually spent in the appropriate amount, time frame, kind of like what we had last year, for the Christmas party. So, all right, that's okay. This is good.
Okay.
Let's move forward here. Membership report, please.
We have had quite a few new memberships. We've had 4 basic new memberships and 3 renewals. And we've had 9 new premiums and 15 renewals. And this is all since the last meeting.
So when, at the last meeting, do you remember what number we were at? What are we at now?
I don't have that information in front of me. I just
Okay.
know that that's the increase that we have.
Do you know what our total is?
No, but we can look it up.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna ask you a quick question. So this is just a membership report. Okay, so like if I wanted to talk about it, we talk about it in new business or old business. Okay, never mind. Okay, great. If you come up with that number, let us know. Just throw
Yeah.
it in there. Great. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. By the way, how was the transition between you and Lori?
Oh, it was fine.
Okay. Is there anything that you need from us or from Lori or from any of the chapter reps that could make it easier for you in the future, at least because you have a different way of doing things, right? So is there anything they should do?
No, I don't think so. It's probably more of me being in when do you know, or when do you decide the money that gets allocated to the chapters? What date do we use for that to figure that out?
Oh, Annette.
I took a report that Lori did in February, giving the membership in each chapter. And that's what I used to come up with the new totals for this year.
Okay, so we'll do it in February again next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the biggest
Can-
question I had.
And I
Can I-
think we also reassessed it in September. And if there was like significant amounts, there was something in the minutes. I'll have to go back in the minutes and find it. But we also talked about reassessing it in September-ish to see if we can allot a little bit more money, if their memberships grew.
Right.
Can I please just suggest one thing, and this is probably to be discussed later, but can we discuss international members, not out of state, but international members that are accounted for as membership of those chapters?
Yeah, that can-
Because- Go ahead.
Yeah, we can address that under new business.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jackie. If you have anything, just let us know, okay?
Mhm.
Please. Merchandise update. We have a new individual for that, Lori.
Did you see the email that just, sorry?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
give
see
me a
the-
second. I'm
Okay.
talking to Jerry.
Sorry. Okay,
Yep,
thanks.
I just saw
Sorry.
it. Thank you. Thank you
Sorry,
so much.
Antoine.
No problem, Karen. No problem. There's an email.
Move
Can you
forward.
skip me and come back?
Oh, I got juvenile probation was. Oh,
Go ahead and just skip me. I'm talking to Jerry right now. I'm sending
fair
him-
enough. Yeah, I see what's going on. I just got the text message. I guess we're gonna move right into the chapter reps. I tell you what, Gene, you wanna unmute yourself? Please?
I know in the past he's had problems.
That's all right. There you
There it
go.
goes.
I tell you what,
Yay!
I learned something about Gene this last month. Gene is smarter than you think. Gene's got the ability to control super sophisticated, high-tech, large-scale Legos with a phone app. No joke. Right, Gene?
That, and he's nearly indestructible.
No joke, Chris. It's incredible. Believe it or not, I was blown. I was floored when I saw
That is-
it in his living room.
That is
Floored.
awesome.
Gene, chapter report. What's going on in my old neck of the woods?
Hey, we only had just one side event in April, and that was it.
Okay. Sido event. Was that the one that was on the Route 2 bridge? Highway 97 bridge? In East Wenatchee, I guess?
Yeah, it was there at that loop trail.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I saw you had what's that, Lori?
Oh, sorry, I'll mute. It's not letting him in because I kicked him out because I didn't like the name that was on there. I thought somebody
Juvenile
snuck into our
probation?
meeting. I thought somebody snuck into our meeting and I quickly said, Amit. And then I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Cool. What was your turnout like? And what was that space, Gene? Is that the space that's kind of like the dirt? It's a dirt side, offside type thing on the east side of the bridge, right there, right when you're on the northeast side of the bridge when you're rolling into East Wenatchee.
I'm not following you.
The Cedo. Did you guys go on the Apple Loop Trail on the north side of it?
Everything north of it would have bastion.
Okay. Right on. Well, good. Well, thank you for having that. That's awesome. And how was your turnout? Pretty good? About 8, 12, maybe?
Oh, about a half a dozen, 8 or so.
Okay. All right, that's all right. Well, if you want to do another one, I'll come out there and clean up some trash with you. I'd love to do it. We did one at the old, right in front of, Douglas County PUD, if you remember. We cleaned up the entire span of highway there. AC Funk was there that one year, if you remember that. I'd love to do that one with you again.
Hey, Antoine, what about the Feathers area?
Oh, yeah, okay. Right, the Feathers area would be.
Heck, I'd be there if you do it.
Yeah, Gene, can we do one together at the Frenchman Coulee at the Feathers area? It's just there's so much junk out there from all the campers that decide to stay there for weeks at a time and climb columns. Would you and I actually get together to do one there?
Yeah, we could, the one I did a year ago, and hey, I got a phone call I got to take, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Fair enough. Next, Benjamin. Benjamin, tell us a little bit about your adventures, because I'll be honest with you, you've been all over the place. How's it going? We can see what you're doing. It's clear. The beauty of what you're doing is that you're actually, when you're creating these events, you're really structuralizing it so people know that they're WSGA events. You're posting them under the WSGA South Central chapter premium account, which is incredible. This is you're showing that people that were there, which is beautiful. So you don't have to go through all of them. Just let us know what the feedback is.
Yeah, just going. So 7 events from mid-March to earlier this month, not in the Tri-Cities. Like that was the main goal, is not in the Tri-Cities, just going around trying to hit every county in the chapter. Made a few stats because I like stats. So 21 different cachers, some members, like half between South Central, Inland Empire, some non-members. I think we had at least 1 or 2 people for which it was their very first event. So that was pretty great. Pretty good turnout. I think a couple people have signed back to be members after some of these events. So pretty happy with the whole thing. It's a bit tired. It's going to be quiet from here until the summer picnic, because there's also Tri-Cities and a lot going on in the chapter. I don't feel I have to put more events right now, but yeah.
Don't worry. Gabe and I will do a couple for you. Great. So the reception is there. Are you getting the kind of feedback where people didn't really realize that there was a chapter rep in your general area? Have you gotten that?
Not as much.
Okay, we'll keep doing it then.
A lot of the people were somewhat knowledgeable, like except very new cachers, where I sort of introduced, okay, this is how events work. You have different type of events, you have cytos, you have normal events, etc., etc. So that was a bit more of an introduction of, and this is WSGA, and I still have the flyers, so I gave out some flyers. Some people might be signing by mail, some people might be signing on the website, but
yeah.
But besides that, yeah, it was a lot were members. Some people were not interested, it seems like, in becoming members. So
that's going to be normal. I think over the course of time, when they start seeing that there's more people like-minded at events, or even events created with a purpose of bringing people together. I think over the course of time, I mean, that's just like me when I became a member. I went to 3 or 4 events before I was like, okay, yes, I guess I'll pay $15 for a premium membership. Back in the day,
well,
right?
and
So,
you can never get 100% satisfaction. So
no, you can't please everyone. Correct. All right. So from there, I'm going to move to well, let's go. Karen, you're next. But Chris, let's go with Chris first. Chris of the Northwest, and then
Okay.
Karen.
Did a Big Blue Switch Day event here, breakfast.
Yeah.
Peach came down for it. She woke up early. It was well attended. I'm still planning that. I'm not going to call it a barbecue just yet, but I got to get a bigger event together for the area.
Listen, the way that Blue Switch event went down was great. Yeah, we literally met for that meeting, that impromptu meeting. If you remember, you, me, and it was a couple other people. And at the end of the night, we had that one night, Chris, to actually log it and submit it. And we literally winged it. You, me, and Gabe winged it. And that was awesome. That was awesome. That's teamwork. And I really appreciate you doing that.
No problem. If it had been, another work day, I could have done it at a different time, but
We
I had
didn't
to
have
do
an
it.
option.
I had to do it early, so that's what I did.
Yeah, we didn't have an option. Karen tried to get in on it as well too, but time ran out. But listen, Karen, you're not alone, because I submitted mine at 11:50, and it it was close. Don't worry, you're not alone. Cool. Well, Chris, summer picnic. If you need help, let me know. I had the last one. If you want help as an extra hand, it's a difficult one to put on. I'd be very happy to be your secretary for that. Okay.
I'm doing a summer picnic as well, but I want to do another event prior to that.
Okay. Well, I'm also there. I'm also there for you. Karen, 48 North. You're muted.
After the last meeting, I had an event in up north. I can't remember where it was now. It was up north. I've been trying to have meetings throughout my chapter, which is slightly hard sometimes because it goes all the way to the border and the islands. I didn't have one in April, and I may not have one in May just because I've been really swamped with other things.
Yep.
So I'm planning a larger event for maybe later in the summer when the weather is better. I'm trying to do an escape room event, but
Okay.
at a park. So like the escape room is the park, but I'm working on it.
And
So
they're not
that's where-
allowed out until they become members.
What?
They're not allowed out until they become members.
Exactly, Chris, and I'm gonna have you there to know. Yeah.
I'll be there to sign them up.
Yeah. So I did create a WSGA Geo Tour, one of my 4 in Edison. I'm doing tiny towns of my area as a WSGA Geo Tour, especially if there's no ALs in that town. So I did one in Edison. And there is one stop in Edison on a WCAS tour, but Edison got its own tour. So I have 3 more to do, and I'm probably going to ask for one more credit to do. Maybe one in the Friday Harbor-ish, not sure yet. So I have some stuff that I'm trying to get going for the nicer weather.
Hey, Karen, Orcas Island could definitely use a adventure. Just chucking that out there.
Yeah, I was looking at, because Friday Harbor has plenty, and Orcas doesn't really. So, but I had 4 credits. Now I have 3, and I just did Edison, and I have like 5 counties in my chapter. Or counties, yeah. So I'm gonna ask for one more, but I already have the towns picked out for the other counties.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So go to Edison. Oh, and if you go to Edison, there's an amazing bakery there.
Hey, Karen, can I throw this one at you? As soon as you said to me, do a what are they called? They're the rooms that you were just
Escape
talking
room?
about. Escape room. Okay, so the first thing that popped in my mind is a maze. And right around October, you've got all the pumpkin patch mazes. Maybe get in one of those pumpkin patches and see if you can get like the first round of people to go through and actually have geocachers try to run through.
Well, I'm going to do something in the summer, but autumn is definitely an option too, and there's time to plan for that. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, anytime. Listen, we're here for you. If you want me to do an event in your area, I'm always there as well too. If you over, I hope Bill's doing all right, but if you guys have anything that you need, if you step your boundaries and you don't know what to do and you got an event that's coming up and you want me to come up there and do it for you, I'll do it for you.
Okay, and Bill's doing fine. Business is good. So
Good, all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Gabe, tell us about your first couple of weeks.
Yeah. So this is alrighty. I don't know if I'm. There we go. No, I'm unmuted. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Antoine, for telling me about or reminding me or giving me a heads up about getting an event in for May 3rd. And it's actually how I met a lot of my geocaching friends. Back in 2010 was at a Blue Switch event back in the day. So we had it actually at the same park in Olympia at Squaxin Island Park. It used to be called Priest Point Park. And we had about 20 people show up, a family of new cachers, a geocacher from Ocean Shores, other familiar geocachers from around the area, like Joy. I'm sure you guys have heard of that name before.
Joy,
She was there. And it was a great event. It was nice to see all the familiar faces and meet new people. And one of the new people that I met there was Lord Mobley, and he's a cacher that's been putting out some really creative geocaches, not just a jar in the woods or under a log, but just some really creative ones. And it's funny because he's like, yeah, I'm only finding the green ones right now, only the green icons. And so he hasn't even like delved into puzzles or anything like that. So, but it was good to basically give him some of my knowledge over the last, 14 years of geocaching. And I encouraged him to join the WSGA. He could find out more about geocaching and kind of increase his knowledge. And so he was going to sign up, and so I don't know if that's reflected in the numbers, but hopefully he did, and he'd be a great. I was telling him about the Maker Magic events that are coming up, because he'd be a good resource for that kind of thing. And it was a good event. I talked to Joy about her caches. She may be moving up to Shoreline, and so a lot of her caches she may be archiving them. Yeah, Joy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what's that?
Yeah, I adopted 2 of her caches in the past. So if you see her, whatever, just let her know.
Okay.
You can always
Well,
contact us.
actually, I proposed an idea to her about, having an event specifically about parsing out, like figuring out which ones we should keep and which ones we should open up for new caches. Just because she literally has over 300 hides. I mean, from her caches around the world to ones that are placed around the area within Washington State. So I'll talk to her more about it. It's hard to catch her because she's not she's not like on Facebook or social media. I have to have her phone number. So, but I'll see if I can get a hold of her, and maybe we can have an event and just to work on parsing out her caches, and that way some of the good ones can stay around in the area.
Yeah. You and I will talk. We'll talk
Okay.
about that, and we'll put something together. I like to. I've known Joy for a long time, and I'd like to ask her to help us with an event, maybe with Earth caches or challenge caches. Anyhow,
Okay, perfect.
Sir, thank you. Keep going. Let's set up an event together for the trip to Tri-Cities, so that Benjamin doesn't have to do an event for another couple of months.
Sounds good. And we do have a CETO set up in downtown Olympia coming up on the 24th, so a week from today.
Great, awesome.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about the secondary organization that you're going to do that with, if you want to just give it a quick brief. I'd love to have that.
Yeah, so a local geocacher let me know about a CETO event, it's not a CETO event, it's just an annual or a monthly pickup. They pick up cigarette butts in the Olympia area, and it's Olympia Surf Rider Foundation, so it's Olympia chapter, and I thought we could kind of piggyback on that and have a CETO event, and so everyone will get the first, season one of the CETO souvenir as part of that because it's within the time frame. So yeah, so it's originally I was thinking, calling like the Parks Department to see if they needed some cleanup, but someone contacted me and it worked perfectly in our time frame. So
it's a butt cleanup, nothing but butts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, no buts about it.
No butts, no
But
butts.
yeah. Yep. So
And I think that oh no, hey, Jerry Martin, the combat cashier over here. Jerry, you there?
I am here.
Hey,
Finally.
Jerry, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, it's good to see you, man. Finally actually able to see you and not a black screen. How were your events in the last 2 months, sir? How's it been going out there?
Haven't really hosted any chapter events because we've had so many local events going on that
Yeah, I saw that.
everyone's been busy with them. I mean, we had just in the first 5 days of May, we had I think 4 or 5 events. So
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw that. So Jerry, I guess I'm gonna ask you also as much as everyone else. So I don't know if you've seen what Benjamin's been doing and Gabe's been doing. For some reason, I don't know, Gabe, I don't know how you gotten into it, but I don't know if you were looking at Benjamin's events, but Benjamin's been doing like these small little 5-minute, like he'll literally drive out in the middle of nowhere, Connolly, right? Connolly. And just driving through for some ungodly, unknown reason. Stopping for
There is a
stop
reason
for
for all of
coffee.
them. There is a bakery everywhere. The bakery.
You're
or the
looking for
cafe.
bakeries.
oh, there
Is
you
that
go.
what you're looking for?
I'm still French, somewhat.
Jerry, are you a sweets person?
a what?
A sweets? Do you like sweets? Do you like pizza?
Yeah.
How about going out in your chapter and looking for the best pizza in the chapter? You might be able to find the most authentic New York style pie in the Republic.
Man, is there such a thing?
Listen, there is really good New York style pie in Sultan.
I don't know what style it is, but there's a pizza place in Spokane that's really good called Flying Goat. It's near the state park. It's good.
Yeah. Mountain Goat 50s had some events there.
I guess the only thing is that he encouraged himself to find the best pastries. So Jerry, if I could encourage you to find the best Idaho spud in Washington, the best true Italian food in Spokane.
Best French fries.
French fries, yeah. Oh yeah, the best French fries. Yeah. But if you need help with that, Jerry, I came out the other day to go and see Gene. Literally, he went and he invited me in his house, showed me his Lego collection. And we spent all day out there, east of Vantage. So next time I might not just stop at that exit. I might just keep rolling through. But Lori sent out the coin that I told you to hold on to. So you owe me that coin, except I have to come there and get it.
It's sitting like 3 feet from me right now.
Jerry, I'm going to come out and get it. But I love to help you with an event. I love to do something interesting. I love to be able to bring a little sense of community. We all know each other. Okay. All right. Is that it? I think that's it. I need my agenda. Gosh, I need my agenda. Jerry, do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to throw at us for anything?
I don't know if you saw the comment on the bottom of my chapter report. We had that park rep from Ponderay County wanting to try to redo a geo challenge that he had heard about.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you know, I just had limited things that I said I need from him, and he's not getting back to me. So
It's okay, Jerry. Do you want me to reach out to them, or are you okay with
no,
just doing it on your end?
from what I understand, he's the only person with the Parks Department, and he also works for the County Transportation Department.
Yeah, his name is Mike, right?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I originally got that email, and you and I were both tagging each other on that, if you remember at the beginning. I kind of expected that, to be honest with you, Jerry. I mean, to be quite honest with you, he did say in his first email out to us that he was just picking up the role. Well, actually, he had picked it up, what, a year ago or so? And he didn't know how much time he had dedicated to it, right? Which is probably one of the reasons why he was reaching out to us. But yeah, if you want to just keep kind of poking at him, yeah, don't nag him, but you're welcome to poke him once a month.
Yeah, well, I know first he was waiting for the March board meeting for the Parks Department to see if he would get funding for a coin or a tag. And then when I got back to him, when I never heard back from him after that meeting, he said, oh, it didn't get discussed. We're going to talk about it at the April meeting. And now I still haven't heard back from him.
Well, Jerry, I tell you what, if you want, you and I can discuss this. I have ideas on how we can make that happen for him, so that if he works with the WSGA, or if he wants to work with the WSGA, we can make it so he doesn't have a huge out of pocket expense, right? That we've got the relationships that he may not have. So if you want, email me. Let's set up at least a couple minutes. If you want me to, like I said, I'll come out there. If you're going to be at Tri-Cities, I'll see you there. But maybe if we could set aside 5-10 minutes, you and I, and actually put our brains together, and we might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, because the other two things I told him I would need is A, where would he like to see the caches?
Yeah, I remember that.
And B, to have the passport put back on their website, because if you pull up their website, it still lists the previous Geo Challenge.
I remember, I saw that. Yeah.
So,
do you want to, Chris, MC3 Cats?
Yeah.
Could you maybe communicate with Jerry on this one, at least just to see what the pre-requirements on their end is, and maybe what our options are for him?
Yeah, if you want me to get in touch with this guy, sure.
No. Just you and Jerry figure it out. I mean, Jerry's the primary source of connection here. I want to keep that relationship going. Jerry, you okay to hold on to that relationship with him?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, Jerry. Yeah, we can stay in touch on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? I'd like to see something happen for them. Okay, they're trying to bring more people into their parks. Yeah, why not? Okay.
And Jerry, one thing you could maybe chalk out on too is adventure credits. We could potentially request that from HQ. So that's another option if they want to do like a combination of physical caches and ALs. We can certainly look at that too.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry, just let them know that we're just there to help them out. When we're nonprofit, we're not there to make it a big old gander for our own selves. I think you understand that. I mean, our intention is to see more people outside in their parks.
Well, and I let him know. I said, I have a group of cashers that are willing to place all these caches.
Yeah, and then you
provide the containers. So we're not asking for a whole lot from them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But for us just to place caches and nobody gets anything out of it, it's not going to draw people just to go find those caches that are spread out throughout the county.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's get Chris at least to help you out. You and me can brainstorm. Let's maybe set aside 5-10 minutes at Tri-Cities if you're going to be there, and let's at least have some ideas of what we can do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Chris, you and I will talk about it as well too. All right, so that we have ideas. All right, guys. Next, parking lot, right, Lori? Okay, cool.
Got it.
Yeah. Lori, don't be afraid to call me out on it. All right.
So for you guys knowing, we have a parking lot agenda going here on the side. So if we're like going and it's something that maybe we can address at a later time or have more in-depth conversation, let's just suggest we put it in a parking lot. I'll keep a rolling list. I'll share it with you guys, and then we can just come back to it at another time and address it.
Yeah, that one, Lori, definitely put in the parking lot. Make sure you put Jerry at primary. And Chris and I as secondary, just to help Jerry out, so Penda Ray has something to do. We have solutions for them. They're obviously overwhelmed. Okay, great. So we're there. We're done. Outreach, Chris.
Yeah. Let me turn the video back on here. Okay, so if some of you guys, most of you guys probably didn't see my last report. I submitted the report very late because I just got the information from HQ today about the Geo Tour. So I have some very updated information on all 7 Geo Tours. Oh, thank you, Lori. You're awesome. So I whipped this little report up really quick for you guys so you can see just the general basics. The data I get from HQ is much more in depth than this. But I just kind of pulled out, some of the, I don't know, the information that I think the reps would be interested in. So as you can see, like we'll pick on South Central, not to pick on Bend, but you can see, 1,201 logs. So the numbers there are accounts is what we're talking about here. So there's been, actually that first one is logs. So there's 1,201 logs on all of the 20 Geo Tours in total. That's the total number. And then the next one over is favorite points for each, it's individualized for each Geo Tour. And then finally, the last column there is, these are geocaching accounts that have actually completed that particular tour. So you can see for South Central, 41 have completed it. They've had 43 total favorite points for all 20 of the caches. And then there's been 1,201 actual logs on the 20 caches. So you can kind of get an idea. I think the one that kind of jumps out me the most is the OP, the Olympic pin. I'm blown away by just the number of logs and the number of favorite points and how many have completed that tour. That one jumps out at me. And it's the Olympic Peninsula. I'm not, I would expect some of those numbers for even more like the Puget Sound. The Puget Sound is not even, it's in third place if you look at number of logs, because Southwest has even got more than the Puget Sound chapter. But some pretty interesting numbers there. Again, there's more data that I wasn't going to really go into, like accounts from different countries that have logged the Geo Tour caches. There's that information. There's a map that you get that shows kind of where all the accounts are from that have logged the Geo Tour caches for each chapter. So you can pick out your favorite one. And then at the bottom there, I've got the total coins left. If you guys haven't noticed, I have been updating the Geo Tour page on our website so that it has a running total of what's left. And probably the stat that should kind of catch your eye is the Dusk coins. We're down to 98, which means we've had another geocacher complete the entire all 7 Geo Tours, which is I've noted that at the bottom, Miss Marvelous went out and hit all 140 and she got the coin. So which was great.
I just saw that on Caches of Puget Sound.
She ripped it. Not surprising.
Yeah.
She's a go-getter. So the first one Go Warcat was the first casher to complete all 7, and so Miss Marvelous is the second person. And we've been seeing an uptick in completed passports rolling in, which explains the postage costs that Annette mentioned earlier, as we've been mailing out quite a few coins here of late, which again is not a surprise.
Yeah.
The winter's done, people are getting out and hitting our tours, which is
I'm close. To,
yes. Go
I'm
ahead.
close to getting a dust coin.
Are you really? All right.
I've got fully completed Geo tours, and I'm close to getting a third.
Fantastic.
Well, Bill and I are both close, I should say.
Well, hopefully you'll be the third person.
Oh, we won't finish the whole tour, but it's going to be a bit before we finish the whole tour. Annette had a question.
Yes, go ahead, Annette.
I was going to tell you that I picked up that envelope at the post office yesterday.
Oh, good.
I left an envelope in there for you because I'm thinking that it's somebody from Maryland that's sending in a passport, maybe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I will check that.
Okay, I know who that is.
Is there a way that we can do this electronically so that you get them faster? That they submit it electronically to you?
You mean like scan an email type thing? I mean, we could go that route.
A picture, yeah, like a snap picture of their thing or something.
They can send it to Outreach.
Just an idea to throw
Like
out.
Abbotsford, you could do that with Abbotsford. That's how I got mine.
Well,
And
you know
that's
what? I can go in there and update the page and say if they want to, instead of mailing them, because that's like 2 trips to the post office for me. I got to go there and pick them up and then turn around and go back and mail the coin. So, yeah, if they want to electronically submit them, they can submit it to the Outreach email address, and then I'll get them like that instead of having to wait until I can get to the post office. And I can process them faster.
Chris?
So I think I'll do that. Yes, Gene.
Yeah. Hey, could a person just email you the code words for the cash, or do you have to have a passport sent to you?
Well, I've actually been keeping a folder of all the passports that come in, and I use these to kind of help track who's completed, you know, which ones, so that I can easily track and see, you know, who's done 3 and then who's come in and finished the other 4 to get the other coin.
I've done 3 of the 2 already completed.
Oh, you have?
And
okay.
Yeah, but I haven't sent anything into you. Like I think, well, could I just send you an email with each one of those 3 chapters with the code words, which that's all you need, or do you want to have the actual passport?
The passports I like having just because I can bounce them off of. I have like the master list here, which you probably can't see because it's folding up. But then I can bounce it off the master list there, and then I can, again, it just helps me keep track, so I can look. I even keep the envelope that the thing
Could Gene
was mailed.
just take a picture of don't?
But Gene,
don't be showing. Could Gene just take a picture of the passport?
Yeah,
and then just attach it as an email to you.
You could do that.
That'd be a better option.
I think that's a great idea. So I'm going to go in there and update the website page for the GeoTour.
Well, does the board go with? Do you guys think that's a good option? I'm throwing it out as an idea.
Yeah, and I did that on the Valley Cities Geo Tour. I had some people that requested if they could send in a copy or scan it and attach it to an email, and yes.
I mean, that makes life easier for me.
People could just, if they have a smartphone, they could take a picture of their passport and just attach it to an email.
Right.
There you go. You could do that. Yeah. That's even easier than sending an email with all the code words for the
exactly, because you don't have to transcribe it then.
Yeah. Right. So if you want to do that, Gene, go for it.
Okay.
And then, because then I can just go and print that off, stick it in my folder, and then I have a spreadsheet where I keep track of who's been sent what coin. So if it comes back later and somebody says, "Well, I never got the coin," I said, "Well, I sent it out on XYZ day." Just keeping track of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will do that. I will update that, and Antoine, I'll even go on to Facebook and just make a quick
Yeah, I
announcement.
appreciate that. They really
So-
appreciated that last time. Sandra Crouch sent me a really, really lovely message. So she loves you.
I think I've sent one. I think I've sent a coin out to them already.
So Chris Brew, is that report that we saw on the screen, has that been sent to us through email?
Yeah,
or-
I sent that to Lori. What Lori was showing was the one I sent. I don't know. Did you get that
So-
out to everybody, Lori? Probably.
I did not, but it
Yeah.
will be in this meeting's minutes, which I've
Okay.
already shared with everybody.
I mean, yeah, there you go. So we'll get that out. And like I said, I have other reports. I have PDFs of the deep dive, which technically is something we probably shouldn't be sharing on this meeting. That's why I didn't want to bring it up.
The parking lot.
Because this, this thing is being live streamed, so I don't want to share that information. But anyway, those numbers I can share. So, is there any questions from the reps on the tour and the numbers and anything jumps out at you? Are you guys getting any comments about the tour?
A lot of driving.
Yeah. Cascadia's got a lot of driving, and now that the snow hopefully is melted,
the
you
thing
can
is,
get to those.
I'm the center of the state, but you guys on the Pacific Olympic Peninsula have to drive clear up to Medellin Falls. That's a long trek.
Yeah. And to think two people have done that. And both of those ladies live on the west side that have completed all 7. So that kind of puts
The
that in
war
perspective.
cat has a habit of sleeping in her car to maximize her trips. She's a little insane.
Tracy's awesome.
She is awesome.
And Sarah, Miss Marvelous, she and her main man, they're serious cashers. There's no question. So anyway, yeah, things have definitely picked up. I've been seeing a lot more completed passports rolling in, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully you guys can get out and do some.
We did Southwest last weekend.
You can do that all in a day?
No. You can. We had to go to a wedding and we adopted a puppy. So we did it in like a 4-day weekend.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
You mix business with pleasure there.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah. We did 10 in one day. So we did half of them and just ran out of time and had to get home to the pets. So, because we were just doing a 1-day trip. So we'll go back and finish it off later.
Yeah, Cascadia, and I've been looking at the Mount Baker. No, the North Cascades Highway is open, so that's like, there's some North Cascadian Geotour caches that I can get up there and do. So I've been eyeballing that.
Yeah, we did a little bit of the Southwest. We were gonna do like as much as possible, and we ended up going and getting. We tried to get Hember Ridge, but there was still snow, so we got.
All right,
something
guys.
else.
Chris, I tell you what, Chris. At the end of this, I have a little segment where we all can kind of throw things, ideas out.
Okay.
I really want to try to keep the meeting under a certain amount of time. Right now, we're currently at officially our 4 minutes.
All right.
I got one other comment, Chris.
Yes.
Last time I checked, I seen there's some geotours that are disabled or missing. Have they been all replaced, or do you know?
I don't know which one. I'll have to look and see which ones are
It
missing.
seemed like there's. I thought it was one in the south, Olympic Peninsula area or Southwest, someplace. They had some disabled caches, and one of them.
OP replaced theirs. He's already replaced it.
Oh, great.
It's up and going.
I found mine at the bottom of a ravine the other day.
Which
Find a
Gene,
lot
if
of
you know where those are, can you throw them in chat for us?
You found several things at the bottom of a ravine.
Yeah, Gene, if you know the GC numbers to those caches that are potentially missing, can you just maybe put them into the chat or maybe in an email sent out to Lori, please?
Yeah.
I mean, whichever the easiest is, Gene, for you, no problem. All right, we're gonna move on, guys. Emmett, anything else?
Nope, that's all I got right now.
Okay, great. And I think that's it, right? We skipped over Jerry, Jean, Chris. Okay, great. Now let me take a
So
look at
one
this.
quick thing, because I know he's not here. However, I'm
Joshua?
gonna throw it out there. Josh is having an event on the 17th of June, and it is going to be a Magic Maker event. And it will be here in Jarstead Park, right out in the Gorst area. It'll be a picnic and an event, and I will throw in the chat the GC code of that.
Okay, hey, by the way, Lori, can you give me a little bit of can you give us all here a little bit of a very quick synopsis of April, May for Joshua and his events? I know he's had a couple of them.
Yeah, he's had he has at least one event a month, and we had a meeting the other day, a couple weeks ago, and then he's having a CETO at the end of this month, and then June he's doing his big event, the Magic Maker one. So he is hosting a monthly meeting or a monthly event in the area. And you know, they're the normal people normal people coming, that, you know, the same-os, but occasionally we get some other people that travel over from other areas.
Good. Well, that's cool. I'm glad. Hopefully, I know that you guys are there to help him out when he has his kid. And, I know I know exactly what's gonna, you know, where he's what
Yep.
shoes he's in. So yeah, we're always gonna be there to support him. So all right, next. Let's keep going.
You need to backtrack and go back to merchandise.
I do need to go backtrack to merchandise. Lori, merchandise, please.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jackie. I have I've organized it from my brain here at my house, and we have a fair amount of coins and t-shirts that we have that hopefully we will I will get up on the site, and then we're also going to take to Tri-Cities, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And that's pretty much just, we have t-shirts and coins. So ideas of other things that you guys would possibly like to see, or if you hear cashers or ask cashers, what would you like to see in the store that you would be willing to go buy? I'm open to ideas so that I can start researching and finding things and getting an idea of what people want, because we don't want to just buy things and then sit on that inventory because no one's purchasing it. So as you're talking to cashers, just try to get an idea. And Jackie and I had talked, or Anton and I, somewhere, I talked with someone about maybe we do sending out an email to them and asking the WSGA members what they would like to see in the store. What would be they willing to buy?
So I think you guys already know what I'd like to see. I would love to see a Yeti or a Mir travel coffee mug, something that holds everything like cold, with a big old WSGA logo on it.
We don't want to be buying something and putting it in there that we only sell one. So we need to make sure that we're going to see a decent amount of sales of that item.
I have 2 or 3 of these. This one, but this one is not the specific one. There's a green one. I have 2 or 3 of them that say WSGA across the top. Jackie, I think they were during your tenure or beginning of your tenure.
Yeah, and they sat there for years.
Okay, what about Write and Rain? Write and Rain pens, notepads, UV pens.
Now, UV pens, you don't see those out there very often. So that might be something, but you also need to look at, okay, what is on the HQ's website? We don't want to be duplicating what's there, because people will go there before they'll come to us.
Oh, you're right. So basically lose all the geocoins, right? Mm-hmm. That
Well,
makes sense.
unless it's something that's very specific to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we just need to be smart of what we invest our money into. We don't want it to be sitting on our website for 2 years.
No, I understand. Okay, hold on. I got one thing I want to throw out at you guys. And then the other thing, Jackie, is when I became a member, one of the member gifts that I got, and you all might actually remember this, is I got a WSGA t-shirt, ugly green, and then it had the trackable right here. Very plain, very simple. And then the other thing I got was the decal, the window decal for the cars, and it said WSGA. And right below, it was ugly, by the way, and it was big, fat, ugly looking thing, and it had the trackable. I thought that was very cool.
But yet it was ugly. Oh, sorry.
It just fell off my car recently, by the way.
Well, I've had to replace part of my letters on that trackable, but I got one of those too. But I love the idea
My
that trackable.
where are my Nikki? Do you know where my glow in the dark things are?
No.
So yeah, so guys, if you just as you talk to cashiers and different things, ask them what are ideas or things that they would like to see that they'd be willing to do or buy. So that is my 2 cents there. Trying to figure out what people want.
I don't know where they are.
And it was it's my suggestion that we do like a Survey Monkey type of thing to see if there are, literally, do you want a t-shirt? Yes, no. Do you want a trackable t-shirt? Would you buy a t-shirt? That's a WSGA t-shirt. Would you buy a trackable WSGA t-shirt? Would you buy a UV pen or UV light? Would you buy, it kind of list down all of these different items that we think are good choices. And let's hear what the members say. Would they buy a Yeti, travel mug? I don't know. I just don't want to be spending hundreds to thousands of dollars to put something in our merchandise that we have to store, someone's storing, as well as that it's money that is sitting there and we can't use because it's tied up in merchandise and we're not selling it.
Right. So
how about a WSGA Right in the Rain paper booklet thing?
I mean, we can definitely look into it and see, how to do them, and if Right in the Rain will do a special one for us.
They're right there in Fife area. I think.
Right, but what's the minimum order for it? That's the big question, is what would be the minimum order? Is it, can we do 100 of them, or are they going to say we need to do 500 of them? I don't know that answer. So I'm just wanting to making sure that we're not putting money into something that we can't flip.
Yeah. I muted you, Anton.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I'm looking for the exact thing that you and I looked at, a lot of us looked at. Here's something. This is the original thing that I really wanted to kind of show and showcase the members of the WSGA. How to do it, couldn't figure it out. But Ryan Simmel has his beautiful, colorful.
You want one of those? Okay.
No, I mean, if you think about it, right, Jackie, I mean, he had the one that had the WSGA logo right on it.
Right.
Tracking code, individual's name, username, right?
Right.
And then he had the one with the Washington State one, which was also very cool. And those are one-off. I mean, they're custom. He created a die just in case we wanted to have that, or at least the print, right? So that's definitely something that we could offer.
Well, I would do that as more of just a redirect to his website and stay out of that one. We don't need them mailed to us to be mailed out again. That's a lot of mailing that doesn't need to happen.
Okay. I just kind of feel like we have t-shirts, we have hats. In the very end, they're always going to end up being the same kind of criteria. What about meme t-shirts? We could do meme t-shirts. We haven't really played with meme MEME t-shirts.
Not mean.
You know, I'd rather be geocaching with the WSGA, and then you do a trackable number somehow, somewhere. You know, HQ's got the been there, log that, right? So maybe if we can come up with a couple of different ideas for the merch committee, which would you be you guys, and we might be able to put on a couple of really individually different meme t-shirts that have something to do with the WSGA, like no ape this year, where's the ape? Or you know, you have the ape right here, and on the back side you have WSGA. Yeah, parking lot.
Yeah, I think, you know, the potentially good ideas. I wrote them all down. So
Next.
gives me a starting point.
Yep, next. Okay. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, old business. Old business. Old business is events. We're gonna start with events. Okay. We were discussing CETOs. We were discussing holiday events, summer picnics, and we also discussed the camp out. So we ended up finding out Jackie really kind of worked on the camp out. She came out with the location. I mean, it's not like we weren't looking. We looked all over the state, literally. State park, private park, KOAs, thousands, oaks, or RV parks. Jackie, do you want to spearhead this one?
Yeah, what we ended up finding was, at this point in the time, most campsites are pretty booked.
Yeah.
And so we were able to find the Enumclaw Expo Center RV campground had a lot of availability left in it. When I originally booked it, it had like 19 sites, which was a lot for this time at this point in the year. So that's where we decided to do it. There's still sites available, at least there were 2 days ago when I looked. There's a cache page already created. Thank you, Antoine, for doing the cache page. And we are doing a poker run on Saturday, and we're working on that. I've asked for a budget of $1,000 for this to help pay for cache containers that Antoine's got there, that we want to put the poker chip. Well, we'll go into how, if you're going, you'll find out how to play the poker run, or how to play within the poker run, but that's part of it. And also so that we can put logbooks in it. And we also want to make a trackable cashkin that if people want to pay for a registration packet, that we will be giving it, that'll be part of the registration packet. We'll be doing dinner on Saturday night, where we will be providing the hamburgers and hot dogs and buns and condiments, and asking everyone to bring a dish to share. We'll also provide water. We'll do Saturday breakfast, pancakes and syrup and orange juice. Champagne's on your own. But so we'll be providing that, but we need to have some money. We'll make some of the money back when we do the registration packets, but they're not going to be super expensive. But we just need to have some money to do this with. So I am asking for $1,000. Oh, I shouldn't spend that much, but I'd rather be over than under.
Yeah, that's a good intention, and you're right. But yeah, so the intention is to get $1,000 in order to pay for just the basics, pretty much, right, Jackie? I mean, if you think about it, we're not getting soda, we're getting waters.
Right.
And there are things that we still haven't been, you know, like I have an intention to go into Enumclaw Chamber of Commerce to see what they can help us out with. You know, so the $1,000 is a pretty good number, and you're right, we may not actually use it all, which is even better.
So is that
Yeah,
a
I got
motion on the
comment.
table then?
Yeah, I'd like to create a motion to actually raise $1,000 for the return of the campouts.
You can't make it. And
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
I did not know that.
well, I thought Jackie made that motion. That's why I'm asking.
Oh,
Yes, I move that we allow budget $1,000 for camp out expenses for the camp out for 2023.
is there a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
okay. That's on Gene. That's cool. Thank
Now
you,
have
Gene.
to, now we have to vote.
Yep. Okay. Gene, your vote, sir.
Yeah,
Annette,
Yes.
Benjamin,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Gabe,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
myself, yes.
No, you can't vote unless there's a tie. Karen, still gotta get Karen.
Oh, okay. And Karen, yeah, I think I already got Karen, but I missed Joshua.
I said yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So Joshua's abstaining. Okay. Well, then that means that the results are good, right? How do I call that out?
Antoine, I got one comment.
Fire away, go ahead, sir. Gene, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Jackie, I've changed the name from Poker Run to a Bucket Run because we've had these problems with this with our ATV clubs and stuff like that, snowmobile clubs, with the gambling commission.
Oh, yeah.
So just change your, don't identify it as a poker run, just make it a bucket run.
Okay. Thank you, Gene. I would not have even thought that.
Yeah, you want to keep, good graces with the gambling commission, so.
Yes.
Okay. All right,
So,
great.
so Antoine, you now say that the motion passed.
Motion, right, thank you. Motion passed. So, there's a motion. Vote.
Jackie, do you want to put out there on the record of the dates? I know you typed them to me, but
Oh, I
for
got
those
it.
who don't know the date of the camp
It's
out.
Yeah. Okay,
28th
so
to the 30th. So Friday the 28th to Sunday the 30th. The event is from 1,300 hours to 2,100 hours on Saturday,
no,
the 29th.
no, it's got to be 11 because we're starting the poker run at 11.
Right, 11. Sorry, apologize. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be an update. All right, cool. Thank you. I'll take care of that right now. Okay, motion passed. Motion passed for your $1,000. Thank you, Jackie, for all the work you've done. I know you didn't have to. I appreciate it.
No problem.
No,
Okay, cool.
Jackie came to that meeting with the three of us and was like, she was loaded for bear. It was awesome.
Yeah, she didn't even have pizza. All right, so I'm gonna go down through this now. At the impromptu meeting that we had in April, by the way, it wasn't a board meeting. I had no clue what I was doing. It wasn't even, but it could have been. Anyway, Chris in the Northwest and I kind of went back and forth discussing events that I thought, or that we all thought, were kind of important to any given WSGA member.
Antoine, can I interrupt for just a second? That sounds like you're going into new business now.
Okay, fair enough. We're done then. Well, then we're good there. We're good there. Summer picnic. Do we have any projected summer picnics for the year? Anybody doing?
OP's doing one on the June 17th.
June 17th. Chris, you wanted to have one in June. What did you want to have in June?
June 3rd at Riverside Park in Renton. Just got booked.
What is it going to be? It's just a regular event.
It'll be a cookout.
Get out. Okay. Well, then
Thank you.
Make
Thank
that
you,
your-
Mr. Katz. MC3 Cats.
Yeah, I'm helping him reserve that because
At half price.
Renton Parks has a special deal for residents on their shelters. So,
Chris, make that the summer picnic, a cookout.
well, it's essentially what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anybody else out there doing a summer picnic anywhere?
Not planned yet, but I'll do something after we get the big heat here. So
I don't
September-ish.
Yeah.
I expect you to be sleeping until then. Don't worry. You'll be all right. Okay. Well, if anybody else wants to do anything, I'd love to do a summer picnic. At a county park or a beach or whatever it may be. I really want to try to get as many events out there for the WSGA members. We've had 3 years without events, and so
Yeah.
2 years. So All right, guys.
I'm gonna miss that one on June 3rd, so have some more that maybe I can make.
I'll do it 6 o'clock in the morning.
Nope, I'm leaving May 24th.
I'll do one for you sometime in
Okay.
August. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Tri-Cities. Let's get that one out of the way. I think it's a little bit of a bear. Go ahead, Annette.
We have purchased the insurance for liability insurance that Richland Parks requires for us to have a tent there to sell merchandise. And I don't know if there are any other paperwork things that we have to fill out. I know you asked in an email do we have to get a license from the city of Richland? And I know in the past, Renton has had me apply for a license, but they didn't charge me for it.
Jen Davis is taking care of that. And as a matter of
Okay.
fact, what we're gonna do is this. The last time you and I spoke, Jen and I had spoken immediately also that day. Jen Davis proposed that she do that. She's doing it for Cash Advance. She's doing it for a whole bunch of other people as well too.
Okay.
The one thing, I got your email, and yes, you're correct on your email. I will sign off on that if we're all good to go for this. I feel like we are. It is a huge event for our merchandise category, and I feel like, I'm not Jacob. Sorry, but I
Thank
I
God
have
for
as
that.
much. I have as much energy, so I have no problem with it. Well, let's just go out there. Let's crank it.
We're likely to get memberships at that too. I think we did last year.
We're going to be set up. Chris, MC3 Cats has a 10x10. I have a secondary 10x10, and we have. And look at that guy over there.
I have two.
Winner. He's got two. I don't want to bring more than 3 10x10s. I got a brand new one that.
Well,
sits
how
up
much
in 30
space are they
seconds.
giving us and where are we going to be? So, we need to know that also.
I bet they don't expect us to have but one.
I told her I wanted 2. I told her I wanted 2 because I wanted one for merchandise and I wanted one for membership, and she was okay with it. We are going to be, if you know the building, Benjamin, you might want to just at least confirm this. The Parks and Recs, the City Hall to Richland sits with a parking lot on the west side of it, and on the east side of it between the river and the building itself is greenscape. It's really well manicured. From the south end of the east side of that building, if you looked on Google Earth, that's where most of the vendors are going to be. Correct, Mr. Benjamin?
I'm not sure exactly on the terrain, but we're not at the Columbia Point like we have been in the last few years. We're like literally downtown Richmond, between G-Way and Jadwin, the two main like 4-lane streets that are north-south.
Okay, so Jen said that we would be able to have electricity. That would be
Yes.
fine. The one thing that she wasn't 100% sure about was internet connectivity. However, we have hotspots. I have a tablet with the ability to create a connectivity hotspot, and I have a Samsung hotspot that I can create as well too. But that's also based on worst case scenario if Jen wasn't able to get us internet connection. Benjamin?
That I don't know. Yeah, you have to ask her that.
Yeah, that sound right though? That sound correct?
Yes. The one thing I could say, like, it's downtown Richmond. It's right in the middle of everywhere, so you'll have good cell reception. It's not the middle.
Okay.
Of nowhere.
Yeah,
It looks
you
like
know,
it's the same park I did when I was in 2019.
you know, last
it's
year we
actually
did.
north of that.
2019 we were down in Columbia Point, so it's the
Or
same as
2020.
2021, the one that was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't
Goes
have a
down.
problem last time with
Yeah, well, let's.
connectivity.
I don't think we're gonna have a problem. I mean, listen, if it's gonna be downtown, it's gonna be a lot more movement of
Yeah.
patrons, geocaching, kids or not.
Okay.
Karen? Anybody? Okay,
So you're saying that we have purchased the insurance. We have 2 spots at the park.
we not at the park, Lori, downtown.
Well, it's John Dam.
It's the park, John Dam Plaza. It's the park
John-
that's just north of
Right.
down. But
Sorry.
Okay. Wherever the event is being held.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Richland.
Okay, it's John
Dam
Dam Park.
Plaza.
Okay. Okay.
I'll put the GC number so everyone can look it up.
I know where it's at because I did it 2 years ago. So okay.
Annette,
Yes.
so we're pretty much set to go, right? All we gotta do is confirm it, or I have to sign off on it with Jen, correct? That's it.
She said that once she kind of gets it worked up, she'll send it to us to approve.
Okay.
And then she will present it to her manager, who will most likely sign off on it because she's
Yeah.
done this for so long. And then she'll send it to us for signature.
Yeah, they have to do the same thing, by the way, for cash advance and for whoever else
Yep.
comes through.
Yep.
All of them.
So they're on the
Yeah.
same schedule as we are.
Yep.
And
But
one,
she wanted her insurance by the middle of the month, and she had it from us.
Antoine, what you need to do is create a shareable document of listing all of the things that you need to bring and who's assigned to bring them.
Yeah.
So it's very clear of who's who in which zoo.
Yeah.
Right. I tried to
Who's
do
who
that
and
at
what's
Geo
who.
Woodstock. It got kiboshed. But yeah, I understand it. I'll take that template. I understand that. Do we have any volunteers to help us out for
Could we?
once we get ideas? Lori, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Can we create a document or send out an email requesting volunteers, and then this way we'll have times and offer times, and they can sign up, and we can go from there.
Shit. What was I gonna do?
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Just blew out of my head.
And if you're setting up and recruiting
for Christ's
volunteers and all these kind of things on the
No, I don't
cash
remember
page,
what I
we
was
also
gonna
have the times where the events will be mostly going on at the park. So you might want to look at the times just so that, like, for example,
What
everyone
was
will
I
leave
gonna
9:30,
do?
so it will be quiet from 9:30 until 3 or 4 when everyone comes back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that can help that planning.
GCA 3073.
Dang it!
So yeah, we just need to figure out the height and times that we need more people to
Okay.
do
Got it.
things.
All right. We'll take care of that. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna move forward. Everybody okay with that? everything's good. We don't have to request any money, so we're fine. Everything's fine. All right, so I'm going to talk about member coin design, member gift option for 2023. Jackie had literally busted out a really cool piece of trivia the other day in front of a whole bunch of different people. Jackie, what do you think?
The idea was to have a coin that had 7 different segments to it, one representing each of the different chapter reps. I've had 2 chapters come back to me and suggest what they would like to see as their portion of the coin.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear back from the other 5.
Quick question, Jackie, to guide that. What size are you looking at? What form factor? Is it a rectangle? Is it going to be?
It's a 7-sided circle.
Okay.
And everyone gets a pie.
Okay,
piece.
so portion of a pie.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if it can be general so that we don't have to make it super big to see detail, if that makes sense. I mean, hoping to keep it at a 2.5 to 3 inch coin just to keep costs down. But, so your pie piece is not real big, but we want something to represent each chapter that you as the chapter reps or your members feel is you. And I care, but I want it to be you guys. I don't want to be making this decision.
Can I throw something out real quick? It doesn't necessarily have to be a pie piece, Jackie. If you remember the 2012, 13, and 14 Tri-Cities coin with 3 pieces of the Tri-Cities itself. I mean, what's to say we can't have a core, 7-piece circle, right? Well, which would be a puzzle as well. It would be pretty expensive, obviously, but at least it would actually, yeah.
That's getting expensive, and we need to then decide how much money, and that's one of the things that we haven't discussed is what kind of budget do we want to set aside for making these coins.
Okay. I don't necessarily want to be the one to ask for the chapters that have handed you ideas.
Well, I've had 2 chapters, and the 2 chapters who have let me know that they've let me know.
Sure, of course. Okay. All right. So, listen.
What's the timeline that you would like to have it from the other ones?
Well, I'd love to have it within the next week so that hopefully by the end of this month, we can start putting some information together. I can work on getting a quote from the manufacturers, just,
I had Zelly
putting artwork together so that we can come up with a price. And then we can come back and say, hey, here's how much it's going to cost.
Mm-hmm.
If we make X amount of coins, it's going to cost X amount of dollars. But until we get the design, I can't go get a price.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. If you guys all can, maybe whoever you are, I don't know who you are, but please submit your ideas, your concepts, your brainstorms that would go on a portion of a pie as artwork to Jackie.
Yep. Everyone received an email from me, so if you could just reply back to that email.
Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. We totally appreciate it. You said by the end of this week, Jackie?
I'd love to have it by the end of this week so that we could put it together and I could start getting quotes by the end of next week.
Okay.
Hey, Jackie?
Yes, Gene?
Hey, put an apple down for cascading, because we're known for the apple capital of the world over here. So.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Gene.
You got Miss Vidal out there too, Gene.
What?
Miss Vidal. She's out there too.
Yeah, that's just Wenatchee, though. Apples are grown through Okanagan, Chelan, Douglas, and Grant County, so.
Good. All right. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, Jackie, definitely big red apple. There used to be a path tag out there for when
It's all. Hey, it's also cherry country too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Cherry on top of an apple. Right?
That's the money crop out there, really.
If they don't split.
True.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys, let's keep going. I am going to run over here. All right, so that's it. I don't think I really missed much of anything else. That's old minutes. Anybody have any objections to that comment?
That we're
Okay.
old?
That we're old? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
okay. No, I said objections to the comment that I missed anything in old business. Okay, great. Awesome. Listen, I put in for a break in here on the agenda. If you guys want to take a 5-minute break, fine. Step away, go pee, go do whatever you need to do. But we've been running over a little bit here. I don't want to be too far.
Well, and we have a young
past
man
2
here
hours.
that probably
That-
is
yes.
to get to bed.
All right, yeah.
We need to think about Carter.
All right, let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna go right into new business. By the way, thank you for dealing with my curve. I don't feel like I'm doing really badly, but it's definitely a curve. I've got committees and subcommittees. Okay, so as per 8.3, 8.4, and 8.5, those are bylaws. Back in March, Chris created 3 committees. He created the merchandise committee, the events committee, and the tech committee. And the intention there was to request for individuals outside of the board and individuals within the board to volunteer within the committees. And so I started literally frantically texting people, calling people, trying to figure out what they were going to be doing. And so here's what I came up with. I'm going to start with the easiest one to kind of give you ideas. So the tech committee is going to be a single individual that I'm going to need approval for today. And that individual is going to alleviate the amount of work that Mitch Etal, Nepo Karma, has. He basically does everything from password changes, email changes, updates to the websites, updates to this, updates to that, and it's a lot of work. It's a huge amount of work, and there's a lot more work than it really kind of seems like. So my brother-in-law is also a geocacher. His name is Michael Nelson. He is a student at Edmonds Community College in internet securities or something like that. He'll let you know. His job is basically going to be to support Mitch, learn from Mitch, take on certain responsibilities like creating the monthly meeting live segments of YouTube. He'll be the one responsible for that as soon as Chris teaches him. And such other things until Mitch can say, go ahead, you can help the board out with recreating an email or for this or that. He'll be able to maybe in the future update and edit the website. But only when Mitch says sure. So I would like to ask you if we can actually, as a board, approve him for the first committee volunteer, non-elect member of tech.
Need a motion.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Is he a member of the WSGA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
It's
He's
a
been member
requirement.
for 4 months.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want me to, Michael, you want to pipe in and just say hello you got 30 seconds, sir.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Hey guys, this is Mike, and just like Antoine said, I'm going to college right now at Edmonds College. I do networking and IT security, and just in my spare time, other than geocaching, I like to work on computer stuff. I've built some servers, I've worked on some website stuff, but mainly just overall good at a bunch of different stuff.
Your favorite geocache?
It was the oldest one that I've ever found was the coolest one. I went out with Antoine and we found an old one on that cliff. What was the name of that park? that area.
Kayak Point State County Park, Snohomish County.
That one was awesome.
We found it immediately after Linda Lou found it. She didn't have a pen, but she gave us the proper coordinates on it, and I ended up signing her name. And it just so happens that me and Michael work with her on the same team at REI Corporate. So it was cool. So there you go. That was funny.
Linda.
Anyway, next. I guess I'm going to ask for an approval. Lori, correct me if I'm wrong. We're going from board member to board member. Is that right?
I don't know those rules, sweetheart.
Jackie.
Ask Jackie.
Okay, so when
Yes, you need to, it needs to be proposed out there that we accept Michael for adding to the tech committee, just like we did. It's just like a vote of moving of a
Raising hands.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay.
it doesn't necessarily need to be, that you go through each person. We can say,
Okay.
do we all approve? Yay. Anybody,
Oppose.
not oppose? If there's no nays, we're good. We don't have to do it individually because we
Yeah.
will then at that point assume that we all are
Okay.
saying,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we all approve Michael Nelson to be placed as a volunteer committee member, non-elect, non-coordinating? Yay or nay? Or yay? How many?
yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Nays?
Didn't hear me.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Michael, congratulations. Thank you for coming aboard. We have Carter Cantrell, the Cash and Cats. Man, these guys, you guys rip it with your events.
Heck yeah, they do.
Oh. Chris, they're the Northern Puget Sound chapter reps here.
They're the king of Cetos.
Yeah, no doubt. So we've been watching you guys for a while now, literally almost 2 years. And Chris and I discussed this last year. If we were going to create an events committee, now this committee is literally a brain. I wanted people to get onto a committee to try to think about ideas and support all of you reps. When I was a chapter rep, one of the biggest issues I had was actually having support. And sometimes I didn't know where to go for an event. Sometimes I had to think of an event like that. My summer picnic was the hardest thing I ever had to put together, and I cried at almost the very end when I couldn't figure out how to get a barbecue there. So I didn't ever want that to happen for any of you. I want you to all have fresh ideas in your mind. I want you to know that there's people there to help you out. I don't want you to think that we're blowing smoke up your rear ends. We're there to help you out. And this is what the events committee is for. We want them to be the full-on support of any WSGA member that has questions about how to set one up, education. Any board member that wants to create an event, doesn't have enough time on their hands to do this or that, go get some food, maybe this or that. Any of our chapter reps who feel like maybe it's just too much for them. That's what the events committee is for. And I wanted to throw in a couple people in here, including myself. And Carter, you are the quintessential example of the kind of person I want in this event. He is not old enough to be a WSGA board member. He's got to be 18. But he can be a volunteer on a committee.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I want to give him that opportunity. So I'm going to ask if we can all agree to yay or nay to approve Carter, Cash and Cans, as the first person into the into the events committee.
Yes.
How many yays?
Yay.
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 Yays? Thanks, Jerry. Great, thank you.
Any days.
Carter, you want to give us a little bit about you? You want to why you do this? Is your dad upset that you're not going to have to have them drive you around anymore?
It's tough,
Hey, like,
Yeah, go ahead. You got a whole bunch of people here, all grown-ups. Go ahead.
Why you geocache? How long you been geocaching?
Yeah, talk to us.
Anything.
you got us started when we were little, something get outside and just be outside and go for a walk or not.
Something, yeah, to encourage activity outside. Yeah.
Yeah, how old were they?
Oh, probably 3 and 5, something like that. Yeah, my wife and I started the account at a Volkswagen event probably nearly 20 years ago, and then our account sat dormant until we had the kids, and it got them going, and then he just took over. And I remember, what was it, 1 year you had a goal for like 200 in a year, or to get our account to 200 fines,
and then last year we had over 700
in 1 year.
all the August.
That's more than me.
He's got us going out to Tri-Cities. He and I did an overnighter in Bend. He just finds ways to get us out to crazy places and see new things.
So I have a question for him. How many cash in, trash out events have you guys held?
Shut up. 12. That's 11 because we haven't hosted that one yet, but there's 12 that's been published.
Wow. And how many events have you guys held just in general?
Yeah.
Overall events is 24. There's a few that haven't.
For those who are not familiar with the caching cats, they do some pretty fantastic events around the North Bend, Snoqualmie area. I've been to a number of them. They mix it up around that area. So I just, for those that aren't familiar with you guys, especially with some of the Eastern Washington folks, it's good to kind of hear your caching credentials, if you will. It's as events go. So
he got us out to Geo Woodstock. We're going to Canada for Memorial Day, so he's like, "Well, we better set up an event." And so you got a meet and greet there, right?
Yeah.
So.
Good job.
Awesome.
Good job, man. 6 feet within the state, the province. Just so you both know, Jerry, Benjamin, sorry, and Gene, they're right across the pass. Okay, so and this kid's smart. He's super creative. Gene, he's got a pair of friends his age that geocaches. And I don't know how you got him involved, Carter, but we're going to talk about that. I really want to see how we can get some of these kids involved. I've got a toddler, 3 years old, so I'll be honest with you. Let's talk about how we can get them involved early. Okay. Well, congratulations, by the way. Thank you. Okay, so there's a couple other people I need to throw on these things. Should I, Lori, can I just name them all off, and then can we do a yay or nay vote, or does it have to be individually?
I would ask Jackie or Chris on those. I'm not 100% on the Robert rules.
It's probably good. It's probably good to do it individually.
Okay.
Just so it's clear to all the board members, so they know who they're voting on.
I want to put Karen on events. Karen came up with a bunch of really cool ideas in the past. I know that Karen really wanted to be on this at the very beginning. I totally misunderstood Karen, and I'm sorry I misunderstood Karen. But Karen, you deserve to be on this thing. You have some great ideas, and I want you to share those ideas with all of us. And I want. I did some research, by the way, on a couple of events that you asked me to look into a little bit deeper, and I have some answers for you in the future, okay? But I want you to be on this committee. So Are you okay with that, Karen?
Yep.
Thank you, Karen. How many yays? Do we have all yays, or yays for Karen on the events committee?
Yay.
Thank you.
Yay.
No
Yay.
negatives? Okay, great. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Gabe Vanderkamp, go for it.
Yeah.
He's going to represent not only the South PS chapter, but he's also going to represent a little bit of Quincy. So Cascadian, Gene, you got a guy out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, partially. So go for it. We have any yays?
Yay.
Okay, great.
Yay.
Myself, can I request a yay for myself just for this one committee?
Yay.
Okay, great. Thank you. Merch, ideas, thinkers, and it's probably smart we put Lori and Jackie together. They don't want anybody else intermingling, so I'm gonna ask for Princess Trouble. I need an approval. I need yays on Princess Trouble for merch.
Yay.
Thank you. I also need it for her her troublemaker twin, Lori.
Troublemaker twin.
Yay.
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 Yay. Yay. Across the board, we're good. Okay, fantastic. That's done. These are your tools, guys. Please use them. Please use them. We are all your tools. We have 2 non-board members that are committee volunteers. It's beautiful. We have 3, including Go For It. So use them, please. I know you're probably not going to figure out how to use them in the first couple of months, but one of these days I'm going to bring one to you, and you'll see. We'll have a powwow.
Hey, Antoine, so as far as committees go, are there going to be like regular meetings, or do we just circulate an email and say, hey, we got these ideas, or what, or
Yeah. Give you a little bit of an idea. Yeah. So Karen, one of the reasons why you guys haven't seen emails is because I needed to get approval first. I needed to get approval for all of you, each individual, into each committee from the board. And you couldn't act on anything until I had that. So I have written together a description of the role of volunteer for merch, volunteer for events, and tech. As a matter of fact, I spoke to Michael about it earlier today. And from there, it'll be up to the committee itself to coordinate and see what's best and what fits best for each, and not walk on each other's toes, and discuss plausible plans for events. What chapter needs it, what chapter could use it, a chapter coming to you and saying, hey, listen, I want to do something over at Manchester, I don't know what to do. Great. It'll be the events committee to come together, maybe with a couple ideas, so that they can present it to the chapter rep and see what comes of it. The intention is to get people out and intermingling amongst each other. The one thing that I've had the most is people want to see people. Lori, go.
So your intent is to send out emails to the different committees with a attentive agenda of like how you want the committees to run?
No, I want the committees to be empowered to run their own ways, to be honest with you. I feel like it's important.
Or what works for them. Okay.
Yeah,
Except that I don't have
creativity is
contact
important.
information for
No one.
cashing hands. And so it would be nice to get an email saying, here are the committees, here are the people, here are their emails, go. Something.
Yeah, I'll have those out to you tomorrow, tonight, Karen. By the time you wake up in the morning, everything will be in your inbox. I promise you that one. Karen, unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't do anything until I got you guys approved in.
That's fine. I know we talked the other week about next year and stuff. And do you want to touch base with that offline on a phone call?
Yeah, I would love to. I actually did
Okay.
a bunch of research. I had a conversation with somebody about that for about an hour and a half.
Okay. You don't work Friday?
No, I don't. Oh, I do work Friday until around 10:30.
Oh, I work from home Friday, so let's connect on Friday.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, great. Guys, thank you. Official WSGA events for the future. This is one that I like to talk about. there's another one that I want to talk about as well too, but maybe it could be a parking lot subject, and that is Washington State Geocaching Association, British Columbia Geocaching Association event across the border. Chris, MC3 Cats.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this in your hands.
Let me do it because I know the players up north.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, I want to put it in your hands, and I want you to blast it out on social media everywhere you can once you get it done. And that's it. I don't want to have to deal with it right now. I think this is something that you should deal with. Okay.
I'll reach out to Bob. Go ahead.
It was a really fun event in 2019, and I would love to see us get this going back and forth like we originally planned.
Yeah, COVID kind of hosed it, but the original plan was they would host it one year, we would host it the next, so it was an every other thing for us. And technically, it's their turn, but
yeah, Chris,
can always
just
host
so
it
you
again.
know, if they miss it in the summertime, just remember you can hit it for New Year's, because I also had mine across the border at New Year's.
I remember I was there.
So I know, and that was a fun event. But if you think about it, Chris, you can also use that one in case we miss the summer with them. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll reach out to Baja Betty and Kev MacD up there.
Awesome. All right, and the last thing in new business that I wanted to talk about, this is a bit more important. Chris of the Northwest, your event last time, where you had one of your events that was set up like that, and it was awesome, and it was totally appreciated. Benjamin, what you're doing out there is you're using the tools that have been provided to you so effectively that you are generating membership. People know their WSGA Benjamin events. They're going to recognize you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to recognize you as that person setting them up that way. So what we at the WSGA purchased the premium memberships for each of the chapters in order to not only help us out with the Geo Tour, but also to be able to create events. And I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't logged out of WSGA geocaching.com premium account in 2 weeks. I only use my Wino Seattle here. But the amount of response that I got out of the 2 events that I set up in northern Puget Sound in coordination with Chris, the CETO that I coordinated with Chris with, and Avro Air, and I asked Chris if I could do one up in his chapter, and he said, yeah, go ahead. But I put it under the WSGA, and people were stoked to see that. And I feel like if you're going to put together a WSGA event, I don't have a problem with you putting it under your own private premium account. But I would like a little snippet about the organization that's going to place it, or maybe a picture in the background. Gabe, you did it perfectly the other day when it was your first event too. I mean, it's just a little bit. So I'd like to be a little bit more consistent, and because I want people to be able to travel along the highway and go from North Dakota all the way to the coast and see a WSGA event and be like, oh my God, I know the WSGA. But they don't know who, I don't know. They don't know who Corvette Kent is. They don't know who Trekker 370 is. And I feel like they know who WSGA is. And this is our year to really reestablish ourselves after 3 years of COVID. And I want to start using those accounts. They're expensive. At least we're grandfathered into the $35 cost now, but they're there for us.
Yeah.
Well. Any Any questions, any concerns, any feedback, please? Okay.
I have access to some of those accounts if those reps need them. I don't have all of them, but I was keeping a total or a record, if you will, of the account names and the passwords for some of the accounts. So like Puget Sound chapter, I know what that one is. So Chris, for your picnic event, you'll want to do it under that nomenclature and not under your own thing. I'm trying to think of which ones all that I have. Antoine, you probably have that now too. I think I provided that to you. But anyway, that information's out there, so you guys should use it. I mean, we pony nip the money to premium count them, so it's all about branding, right?
Yeah. Well, and don't forget they have their adventure labs also to put out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got the Adventure Labs put out as well too. And if there's an expiration on date on those, Chris, let us know, please.
I don't believe there is. I know the Puget Sound's got a couple of them out. It sounds like Karen's been rocking the AL world with hers.
Well, I have one of potentially 5, but yeah.
So she's got Cascadian's got a couple out, or at least one out. So anyway, the rest of you reps, you need to log in and Gabe, definitely rock your South Sound world there, and put some out down that way. So they're all out there. You guys have got 4 credits for up to 5 chapters each. If you do the math, that's 20 Adventure Labs that you can do. So log into the app and start building away.
And you can request more. It's pretty easy to request one, and they're probably always going to grant it. An adventure lab.
I'm going to request one now.
Yeah, because I know a cashier in my area wanted to do one. She's like, how do I do this? And I told her, and she got one really quick. So you should be able to get, I mean, like I said, I have 5 counties in my chapter, and I had 4 credits, so I want to do 1 per county, so I need to request 1 more.
We might even want to do one for the Cashers Across the Border event too. I think that park would be really good.
Yeah,
so
I'll make 2 requests today. Anyway, if you guys have any concerns, if you have any questions, if you have any gripes about it, just let us know. Just be open-minded and just let us know. We're here to work with you. But the accounts are there. All right. Before I round this thing out, I'd like to make a motion to request a full.
You can't do that.
Oh.
You can discuss it and we can throw it out for you.
But you can't make a motion. You can just,
You lead the meeting. You cannot make motions for the meeting.
At all, ever, right?
Ever.
I can ask for approvals, but not a motion for anything.
You can ask for someone to make the motion for the approval.
You got to pitch your argument to the group first, why you want to do X, Y, Z, and then hopefully someone will go like, "Great idea! Yes, I'm behind it. I'll make that motion," and then someone will second, and then off you go.
And pitch it, Antoine. Pitch it.
Okay, here we go. Fine. Okay, great. Listen, Tri-Cities is a little bit important. Plus the fact that we have the following week or the following month camp out. I really kind of want to get our. I'd like to potentially put together another full board meeting the Wednesday before Tri-Cities, excluding Benjamin.
What day is that?
June 14th.
It's going to be a Wednesday, and I'm I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty flexible on when you want to have this meeting, knowing full well that it's right before Tri-Cities. Benjamin, I do not expect you to be there, but if you can write us a nice little letter telling us where you're going to be sleeping on the following week.
For
What is this meeting
Where,
for?
where or
For what
when?
purpose?
So the purpose is to be able to allow us to know that we have everything that we need for the merchandise.
That doesn't need to be a full meeting. That can be just held within the group of people that you have got identified for working, supporting the Tri-Cities.
Agreed.
I'm not going to Tri-Cities. I don't need to be at a meeting talking about what's going on at Tri-Cities. I'm not going to be there.
All right, we can wait until July then.
Well, but after in July, it would be after Tri-Cities. I mean, you still don't need to have a full board meeting to be talking about one specific event that's only going to that you only need to specifically talk to a handful of people.
Fair enough. Then how about
you can call a separate group meeting that you do a Zoom thing with the Tri-Cities group, and then you do it on some other time, but as vice president, as the treasurer, as the secretary, we don't need to be there.
Okay, that's fine. How about this then? I have a great idea. Why don't we use the committees that we have? I'd like to have a joint events and merch committee meeting the Wednesday before Tri-Cities.
Do we have specific events that we are planning on having for Tri-Cities, for the events committee?
If you're talking about merch, we already have the merch that we're going to take. We aren't going to create merch in 3 days before we go.
Yeah, but you're going to need somebody's 10 by 10, Jackie. You're going to need somebody's table. You're going to need somebody's.
Well, that's why I said you need to start creating a spreadsheet and an email chain talking about who's got what, and that needs to happen today, not
All right,
just like I did for APE, where I had that spreadsheet for all the moving parts.
Yeah.
You have a spreadsheet that people can.
I have that.
Yeah.
Then
that way,
needs
3 days before, you might be too late if you find out you're missing something. So.
Right. You need to be, and it's kind of like your checklist of everything you need to bring, where you need to make sure who's bringing the stripes for charging, who's bringing, who's bringing paper and pencils,
and 3 days. 3 days before is a good reminder of, hey, such and such, you're bringing this, and
that's when you send out that email saying this is your bring list, not.
Okay, so no, forget about it. I was trying to involve everyone, be as transparent as I can.
No, it's a good idea. It's just
Okay. All right. Well, then I have a better idea. Then the very last thing, very quickly, very last business. We have a website that generates so much memory and space that the current web hosting service is requiring us to upgrade. Gabe, are you there?
I'm here. Yep.
Did you look at that email?
I did.
Okay. Can you explain this to everyone, please?
Yeah, basically they want to change it's the plan that is going to be changed, and it'll be cheaper, right? Versus it's
Right. So basically, the company that we're dealing right now, the web hosting company right now, has been bought out twice in the last 2 years. Damn. And we just got charged over 3 years for $187.52. Which there's a potential to actually get back, because the problem is this: they want us to immediately upgrade based on the fact that we're using up way too much memory space for them to service WSGAonline.org on the internet. There's literally a company out there that does this. It's kind of like buying an iPhone, having enough memory to be able to do updates and take pictures and put people's whatever in, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you've got no more memory in it. What do? You either buy a new iPhone or go to Android and never have to worry about it again. So the intention here is we have to either upgrade at twice or 3 times more than we've
Yep,
been paying
exactly.
for every single month and year for the last 6 years, Jackie. Or
yeah.
Or we do what Mitch Etaw, who is it's Nepo Karma. He's been our IT guy for 7 years. He's been using this company for 7 or 8 years. I would like to know. I mean, I think it's a great idea, if we could possibly get a motion, and I mean, maybe, to approve this transition of web host or web host company.
So it sounded like from your email that the new web host company that Nipokama recommended would give us more of what we need for less cost.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I moved to move over to the new one.
Okay, so there's a couple things in that conversation that we had with Mitch. Is we can choose a 3-year plan and get locked in at a lower rate for that 3 years.
Plus
or
10%.
we could do a 1-year plan, and then after that 1 year, we would go from, I think it's $624 a month to $699 a month or something like that.
It's not either whether we do 1 year or 3 years, it's still less than what we have now. However, none of us have used, well, I don't know anything about web hosting, so I would rely on someone who's used it before.
Right. So basically he said our website will not physically change. It's only the host that's changing. So everything on our website will remain the same. And then another thing he stated in there when we were talking is we would be down approximately a week-ish is what he's hoping, because he has to download and then, upload in they have to do all the little bells and whistles and set us up like it was in the other thing.
Yeah.
So he said approximately a week would be down. He was estimating that. So
I mean,
probably sooner.
realistically, that's just the cost of doing business and the cost of. I mean, our website needs some help. Seriously, a lot of people complain about it.
It's coming.
If we agree to spend less money for better, and we're down a week, I don't think it's going to be.
I'd like to talk to Mitch, because that seems like I'm an IT manager for a living, and usually what you would do is you would take the files on the old side, copy them over to the new side, and then you flip the DNS name. So the name itself, the WSGAonline.org, you flip it over once all the files are in place, and so there should be literally no downtime.
Right. So hold on a second.
In my experience, but that's
right. Lori was giving you worst case scenario. She really
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Mitch,
Mitch said it would probably go down like on a Sunday night and hopefully be back by Tuesday afternoon. But worst case scenario is that it would take Thursday until Friday. But but you're correct.
Yeah, typical DNS transfers 2 days.
Yeah. Well, and even then, you could make sure that the site is working before you flip the name over.
I'm doing the same thing too. Yeah.
They might want you to take it down because it'll take resources to transfer the information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you do have a motion on the table. Karen put a motion on the table that we need to vote on.
Gabe, you want a second?
I'll second. Yeah.
And I would third it if I could.
Okay, great. Well,
now we have to vote.
Yes, vote. So, Gene, how do you feel about this, Eugene? Gene?
Hi, Gene. He's with us.
Gene, basically, we're voting to get a new web host for our website. So your vote, sir. Okay, great. Thank you. I vote. No, I'm not voting. Karen.
Do I need to vote even though
Yes,
you
vote.
Yes.
Chris, Northwest.
I approve.
Pichawa.
Yes. Peach.
Who did you say?
Annette.
I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Lori.
Yes.
Gabe.
Yes.
Jackie.
Yes.
Benjamin.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Fantastic. So The
Motion has been
approved. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Any unaccounted business? I hope not.
Just a reminder, the 14th of June, which is a Wednesday, I'm doing a class at the Tacoma Public Library at the Wheelock edition. Wheelock Library.
Chris. I'll post that on the website.
Hey, Chris, how did that come about?
Rock Chalk reached out to me because the Tacoma Public Library reached out to HQ.
And what are you doing, Chris?
Geocaching 101 for the Tacoma Public Library.
Cool.
Any feedback, guys? Can you throw me feedback? If you want to email it to me, send me a text message. I got some the other day. Took me about a day to get over, but 2 days maybe. But it was good for me.
And Antoine, are you there? Or are you hung up?
No, I'm right here.
I would suggest you do the same thing with the camp out that you're going to need to do for Tri-Cities to get people moving on that. You know,
Checklist. Okay, I'm gonna grab my checklist.
I'm sure that Jackie's probably going to jump on that.
Don't worry. So I was equipment manager for Ape Event. Karen, I still have all that stuff. I will pull it and I will use it as my template.
So Anton, be careful too. You don't have to take everything on. Just remember, we're here to help you, and you can ask us somebody to take things on.
Yeah.
I'll bounce it.
You really shouldn't, Antoine. You shouldn't be doing all the work. You should be more managing the work.
Delegate.
Delegation is your friend.
You know what I'm gonna do is, you're right. Listen, I'm working on that. I'm gonna do this. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the contacts and of each of the committees, and I'll send each of you guys out basically roles, expectations. You are free to do whatever you want. It is your it's basically your sketchboard. Okay, whatever you want to do. You have contacts and everything.
I assume that on the next meeting in July, is that right? July, that we'll have a report for each subcommittee.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could I suggest that we have one person from that each committee be the person who reports into that? Because
agreed.
I'm sorry, I don't want a zillion reports to try to consolidate.
Well, it should be the lead of that group.
There's no lead, Chris. If I needed a lead, there's no lead.
I think that obviously IT is one person, so that's easy to figure out. But I would suggest that the lead for each subcommittee not be a chapter rep, just so that chapter reps already have a bunch of stuff going on. Good. So, at this point, I think the events committee who is it? It's Gabe, myself, and
me and Cash Cans.
So Cash Cans, I'm just gonna say that they probably should be the one that's the lead.
Yeah, I have to take a look at what the bylaws say, but I'm very happy to give it to him. But I tell you what, why don't we do this? Why don't we just make him
go Carter
let's just
go?
Keep everybody go Carter go. Let's make everybody just equal for at least a month and see what.
Yeah, and we can figure it out within our subcommittees. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right. Cool. I'd like to make No, I can't make a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn because I need to eat dinner.
Can I sell the idea to adjourn this event?
Wait just a second. You did not mention
the next meeting.
You said down there subcommittee appointments, park liaison, and you had disc golf birdie. Is that all not going to happen, or did it just get overlooked?
He's not a WSGA member yet.
Disc golf birdie is?
Okay. But it was on the agenda, so I was just asking.
Good job, Annette, keeping us to our agenda.
I'm going to be honest with you. She's very good. I really want her in the slot once she actually, once she gets that membership, renewed.
What is this for?
She's a pillar over there in the OP.
Yeah, she's very active. I know that.
Karen, chapter parks liaison covering every county and
Oh.
city in that chapter. Not touching national parks, national forests, state parks, but just for the chapter touching like Snohomish County Parks liaison. Okay.
I have somebody that I want to. Well, she technically lives in the Puget Sound, but I have someone who I think would be good for that for my chapter. Maybe even for both Puget Sound and me. But
We'll
talk.
let's talk about it on Friday.
Okay.
Parking lot. Yeah, Lori, I decided doing that because I think it was only fair. We had a question and a concern on the pie catcher, and I wanted to make sure that we stay consistent.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to make?
I did the motion and someone seconded me. I think Jerry did.
Thank you, Jerry.
You should remind when the next meeting is, by the way.
Yeah, so the next meeting is going to end up being in July. We're going to stay at the same bat time, so 6:30. I really want to try to keep these meetings a lot more streamlined. I'm going to make a request for how I think we should expect at least the reports. I really did it poorly this time, and I apologize. 19th of July. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m.
Okay. Okay.
It's your first go around, Antoine. Come on.
How long was your first go around, Chris?
I don't remember.
This meeting is Jackie, do I make an adjournment of the meeting?
Yes.
No.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Did we finish all of the motions that were on the table?
I believe so. I've written approvals on every motion that was
I
proposed.
think so, Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah. It might
Okay,
have been out of order, but yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not leaving anything
hanging.
Do you see
Robert's
anything that
Rules
we're
of
missing?
Order.
Yeah, I have Robert's Rules of Order as well up too, and I think we're okay. I think I'm fine. I mean, I might have been out of order a little bit, but
Yeah, and then you just say meeting adjourned at 9:04.